Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sanghas, dear Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English news transmissions on the online TV weekly Buddhist news reel, a comprehensive channel. And here are the headlines of major Buddhist news of the week. BINH scientific seminar open on history of Vietnam traditional Buddhism and contribution to the value of Dharma and nation. Đồng Nai, the 19th commemoration of late elderly most venerable THÍCH THÀNH. Hà Nội, Flag Donation Day for Human Life Saving, a Bodhisattva action organized by Vietnamese Buddhist Sangha at Quang Sư Pagoda. Ho Chi Minh City, opening conference for training workshop for climate change and tackling skills toward climate change for more than 700 monks and nuns in Vietnam Buddhist University. Ho Chi Minh City, intensive confinement course closing ceremony at Vietnam Buddhism University, Campus 2. Thừa Thiên Huế, Vietnam Buddhist University in Hue have opening ceremony for entrance examination for Buddhism Study Master Level Course 2 2020 to 2022. Ho Chi Minh City, one day of equanimity course organized at DIapplE Pagoda. Quảng Nam, an equanimity day for children retreat course organized in Thai BINH Pagoda. And hereafter are the news in details. In gratitude to the predecessor who founded the Vietnam Traditional Buddhist Sanghas, the Vietnam Buddhist Study Institute and the Religion Study Institute, in collaboration with Vietnamese Traditional Buddhist Sect, organized a scientific seminar, History of Establishment of Vietnam Traditional Buddhist Sangha and its contribution to the Dharma ethic and the nation, on the morning of June 16, 2020, at Hội Khánh, Pagoda, BINH Province.
In witness, it was honored to have Professor Most Venerable Thích Trí Quảng, Standing Deputy Sangha Raja of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông, Most Venerable Thích Tâm Từ, co-member of the Council of Patrons, Provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân, Chairman of Buddhist Administration Council of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Giác Toàn, Vice Chairman of Administration Council, Director of Vietnam Buddhist Studies Institute, Head of Organizing Committee, Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Vice Chairman cum General Secretary of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Danh Lung, Member of the Council Secretariat, Deputy of Office 2, together with the Most Venerable Buddhist Council members and Buddhist monks among the attendees. The invited participants included Ms. Trương Mỹ Hoa, former Vice President of Socialist Republic of Vietnam, Associate Dr. Chu Văn Tuấn, Director of the Institute of Religious Studies, and other lay persons. In the opening remarks, Most Venerable Thích Giác Toàn thanked the venerables and the invited delegates for contributing their presentations to the scientific seminar. To follow the opening speech, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân presented the orientation of the seminar. The headland of BINH is the land of the establishment of the Vietnam traditional Buddhism, which was founded in the 20s, one of the 9 sects that established the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in 1981. The Venerable were invited to join the important hierarchy of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. This is the occasion to revive the golden history of the traditional Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Most Venerable also praised the tribute and virtues contributed by many monks through the periods of time. Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông summarized the formation and development of traditional Vietnamese Buddhism Sangha in early 1969. In his blessing, Professor Most Venerable Thích Trí Quảng acknowledged the contributions of the religious leaders of traditional Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, whose successors would further contribute to the country's development in the new era. Associate Professor Dr. Chu Văn Tuấn revealed that the seminar had received nearly 60 presentations focusing on the history of formation, the contributions of the Buddhists through historical periods. So the values of Vietnamese traditional Buddhism should be preserved and promoted with orientation with its road and sectarian values. Venerable Dr. Thích Đức Thiện also shared his presentation, the contribution of traditional Buddhist Sangha and its monkhood in the course of Buddhist reunification in Vietnam in 1981. In complimenting, Ms. Trương Mỹ Hoa delivered a speech and said that the Hội Lục Hòa Liên xã, Intercommunal Sixth Harmony Society, established in 1922, the Sixth Harmony Priest Society of Vietnam, established in 1952, joined to form the Vietnam Traditional Buddhist Sangha in 1969 due to the unification of the two sects, Sixth Harmony Priest and the Sixth Harmony Layperson, in recognition of the succession of the examples of the contributions of noble monks and nuns to the patriotism and national liberation.
On the morning of June 15, 2020, in Long Thiên Original Temple, Dong Nai Province, the 19th commemoration was solemnly organized in memory of late Great Elder Most Venerable THÍCH, former monk of Traditional Buddhist Sangha of Vietnam, former Vice Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, former head of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in Dong Nai Province, the abbot of Long Thiên Original Temple.
Among the attendees, there were Most Venerable THÍCH, Chairman of the Administration Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable THÍCH, Standing Member of the Administration Council, Deputy cum Chief Secretary of the Central Jurisdiction Board, Most Venerable Yoshimitsu Daichi, former President of Japan Pure Land Buddhism Society, Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông, Deputy General Secretary of the Administration Board, Chief of Office 2 of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, head of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha BINH Province, together with members of the council patrons and venerables and monks from provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, along with the representatives of authorities and numerous laypersons. The participants also include Master Nun Thích Nữ Tịnh Nguyện, Permanent Deputy of the NUNS Central Committee, Master Nun Thích Nữ Huệ Hương, Member of the Administration Council, Deputy of the NUNS Central Committee, Deputy of the Department and Head of the Division of NUNS in Dong Nai Province, and participating nuns from other provinces and cities. Elder Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thành, secular real name Nguyễn Toàn Trung, was born in 1912 in Gia Định Province, now Ho Chi Minh City. He died in 2001 with 70 years in Buddhist service. He was born and raised in a patriotic Confucian family, and at the same time having faith in the Buddhist Dharma. From his childhood, he was taken refuge in the Three Jewels with Tổ Pháp Ấn, the abbot of the Phước Tường Original Temple, and then he left home to study Buddhism there under the Dharma name of Hồng Tín, alias Bửu Thanh, and by name Huệ Thanh when he was 12 years old. In 1931, he was ordained as a monk by the Patriarch at Huệ Nghiêm Pagoda in Thủ Đức District, and in 1934, he was ordained as a novice at Phước Thạnh Pagoda in Tây Ninh. After more than 70 years of practicing, instilling the Dharma to benefit, spreading the Dharma, and contributing to the cause of nation, he deserves to be an exemplary model, setting an example for the younger generations to follow.
On the morning of June 13, 2020, the program of Blood Donation Day, Bodhisattva Action Day, organized by Central Committee of Red Cross, Central Institute of Hematology and Blood Transfusion in conjunction with the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, took place in Quang Sư Pagoda, Hanoi.
In witness, it was honored to have the following attendees: Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiễu, Standing Vice Chairman of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha; Most Venerable Thích Gia Quang, Vice Chairman of the Administration Council, Chairman of the Central Committee of Information and Communication of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha; Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, Vice Chairman of Administration Council, Head of Social Charity Committee of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha; Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Vice Chairman, General Secretary of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha; monks and nuns and laypersons from near and far. On the side of the authorities, there were Mr. Hầu A Lên, Member of Central Party Committee, Vice Chairman and General Secretary of Central Committee of Vietnam Fatherland Front; PhD Dr. Trần Quốc Hùng, Vice Chairman of Vietnam Red Cross; PhD Dr. Bạch Quốc Khánh, Director of Central Institute of Hematology and Blood Transfusion; Mr. Nguyễn Phúc Nguyên, Deputy of the Department of Buddhist Affairs of the Government Committee for Religious Affairs; Mr. Phạm Tiến Dũng, Head of the City Religion Department; Colonel Ngô Chí Dược, Officer-in-Chief of PAO2 Department of Hanoi City, with officials of the related departments. Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiễu thanked and wished good health to the leaders of all levels. Most Venerable emphasized that a drop of blood is a life to be saved. Buddhism is the religion of compassion, wisdom, and liberation, of which almsgiving is the leading conduct. PhD Dr. Trần Quốc Hùng also shared that during the COVID-19 epidemic outbreak, the Institute of Hematology was in shortage of blood sources. Therefore, the Fiesta Blood Donation Day to save people, a bodhisattva action, is extremely meaningful. Mr. Hậu Alan appreciated the noble gestures of the participating people. This event would be a widespread wave, not only in Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in particular, but also in other religions throughout provinces and cities nationwide. At the end of the ceremony, Venerable Thích Đức Thiện thanked the public and hoped that the monks and nuns and Buddhists would take the chance of blood donation in the near future to proceed the registration of organ donation.
Training workshop for 734 monk students and non-students about climate change. Tackling skill was taken place in 2 days of 13 and 14 of June 2020 at Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City, brand number 2, organized by the university in coordination with Central Committee of Vietnam Fatherland Front.
Participating in the training workshop, there were Venerable Thích Nhật Từ, Member Executive Council of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Vice Rector Standing Committee of Vietnam Buddhist University, Venerable Dr. Thích Tâm Đức, Member Executive Council, Vice Rector Vietnam Buddhist University, Venerable Dr. Thích Viên Trí, Member of Executive Council, Vice Rector, together with monks and nuns from Board of Vice Rector and Professor, members of University Management. Also, there were Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thanh, Member of Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee, Head of the Department of Religious Affairs, Member of the Steering Committee for Program Promoting the Role of Religions Involved in Environmental Protection and Tackling with Climate Change, Mr. Phạm Văn Tấn, Deputy Director General of Department of Climate Change from Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, Professor Trần Thục, Vice Director Advisory Council, National Advisory Committee on Climate Change, Associate Professor Huỳnh Thị Lan Phương, Deputy Director Institute of Meteorology, Hydrology, and Climate Change, together with lecturers and officials from Vietnam Fatherland Front. Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thanh delivered opening speech. Following, Mr. Phạm Văn Tấn shared that Vietnam is one of the countries facing most serious effects by climate change. Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment coordinated with Standing Committee of Vietnam Fatherland Front to work out the program to coordinate and promote the role of religions to participate in protecting the environment and tackling issues of the climate changes faced 2015-2020, in which Buddhism has proven their active coordination. Venerable Thích Nhật Từ expressed his happiness and shared the causes as well as proofs of current global climate changes. Venerable strongly believed that monk and nun students have been provided essential knowledge and skills to apply and promote the role of Buddhism in environmental protection, tackling with climate change. Associate Professor Huỳnh Thị Lan Hương has also generalized about climate change, definition, causes, manifestation, scenarios on climate change was suitable with global climate change and in Vietnam's. Professor Dr. Trần Thục also shared with monk and nun students 2 topics about international policy for climate change, global efforts to face with climate change, and religious point of view for climate change, role of religions in tackling with climate change. Later, on 15 and 16 of June 2020, in Rạch Giá City, Kiên Giang Province, there was also a training workshop on climate change and tackling skills towards climate change for the religious dignitaries, leaders, monks of 5 southwestern provinces, Kiên Giang, Cần Thơ, Bạc Liêu, Hậu Giang, and An Giang, chaired by Department of Climate Change, Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment in coordination with Department of Religious Affairs, Central Committee of Vietnam Fatherland Front.
On June 16, 2020, the Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City, Campus 2, solemnly closed the intensive confinement course, the pedagogical retraining course.
In witness, it was honored to have Elder Most Venerable Thích Trí Quảng, Standing Deputy Sangha Adraja of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, rectors of Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City, and venerable dignitaries of the Administrative Council, the teaching staff board, and more than 800 Buddhist monks and nuns at the university. Venerable Dr. Thích Giác Hoàng summarized the course review after 10 days of confinement for the monks and nuns of the university, and the test result of the pedagogical posturing course for lecturers at the university. The course of study starts from 4:30 to 20 daily in the following sequence: Lesson of the Night Kung Fu, breakfast, Dharma lectures, chanting, lunch, meditation, serenity ceremonies, and meditating in sitting. The pedagogical course has 9 lessons. Each section has 4 periods, a total of more than 36 periods conducted by the most venerable rectors, along with the professors, associate professors, and doctors who are leaders and teachers from the university. In passing a blessing words of good faith, Most Venerable Director appreciated the seriousness and effort of the trainees, monks, and nuns during the past 10 days, and presented the certificates of Vasa to the practitioners and the pedagogic training course certificates for the religious teaching monks who had completed the course.
On the morning of June 13, 2020, Vietnam Buddhist University in Hue City held opening ceremony for entrance examination for Master of Buddhist Study, Course 2, 2020-2022.
Participating in the opening ceremony were Most Venerable THÍCH, standing member of the Executive Council of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Rector of Vietnam Buddhist University in Hue City, Venerable Dr. Thích Nguyên Đạt, member of the Executive Council, Deputy Director of the Buddhist Education Committee of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Vice Rector cum Head of Postgraduate Training Department, Venerable Dr. Thích Không Nhiên, Head of Scientific Research Department, Venerable Thích Hương Yên, General Secretary of Vietnam Buddhist University in Hue City, Venerable Thích Pháp Quang, Deputy Head of Postgraduate Training Department. Most Venerable Rector has made hearty wishes to all monks and nun students, hoping that all monks and nuns take the examination seriously to achieve the ambitious goals of study. The Vietnam Buddhist University in Hue City is one of the 3 Buddhist studies training institutions for university level of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, which can be qualified for bachelor and postgraduate training. The university strives toward an intensive academic environment in both training and research, which is the historic missions that the Sangha had entrusted over the past time. The entrance examination for Master of Buddhist Studies, the second course for 2-year training program, attracted for 22 monks and nuns to take the study in 4 majors: Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist literature, Buddhist history, and Hannom Buddhism. All the monks and nuns have graduated with bachelor degrees in Buddhist studies from Buddhist academies nationwide.
In order to help Buddhist laypersons to have an environment and favorable condition to practice after a busy week of work, on June 14, 2020, one-day equanimity retreat courses were held at DIệu U Pagoda, Ho Chi Minh City, for more than 100 Buddhist laypersons.
At the beginnings of the days of ascetic practice, the Buddhists had a time to practice the great compassion and to devote to studies for a full day under the guidance of the Buddhist monks in DIệu U Pagoda. In the afternoon, the Buddhist layperson congregate in the main shrine hall to listen to the Dharma talk delivered by venerable preachers THÍCH, THÍEN, THÀNH with the theme Karma, the cause and effects of karma, right view. The retreat course ended with the meditation practice sections conducted by Venerable Thích Nguyên Pháp, Abbot of DIệu U Pagoda, who directly provided the instructions. On this occasion, the retreat organizing committee also presented gifts to the candidates whose birthday in June. Also, as it 1 day of equanimity retreat, the timetable for unfettered life and Mihatapa Sutra recitation course were also organized at DIệu U Pagoda. It is known that these are regular 2-week retreats organized by the ashram in the DIệu U Pagoda. The retreats have always attracted many Buddhists and laypersons of all ages to practice for many years, creating a vibrant and rewarding Buddhist living environment for laypersons and Buddhists in Ho Chi Minh City.
On the morning of June 14, 2020, in Thai BINH Pagoda, Quảng Nam Province, the ashram organized an equanimity day retreat course for children aged 7 and over, under the guidance of Venerable Abbot Thích Pháp Hạnh and Master Nun B. Nguyễn Lawyer, Director of Da Nang Relief Center for Disabled Children.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable Thích Pháp Cao, Abbot of Nam Quang Pagoda, Friary Abbot of Tam Bảo Pagoda, Quảng Nam City, Venerable Thích Pháp Hiếu, Abbot of Tam Bảo Pagoda, Venerable Thích Pháp Trung, Vice Abbot of Nam Quang Pagoda, and members of Hoa Vô Ưu Volunteer Charity Group, Quảng Nam Buddhist and Da Nang City. The equanimity retreat starts at 7:30 a.m. the children were ordained to the 3 precious jewels and 5 precepts. After listening to Master Pháp Hạnh preaching on the 5 precepts, the students were also taught to practice basic meditation positions and movements. In the afternoon, students practiced meditation and listened to Master Nan Binh to preach about being a good child to parents, a good student at school. At 4 p.m., the Dharma quiz game for Chinese was played for the children to participate enthusiastically, and the winners received some encouraging reward. The equanimity retreat ended at 5 p.m. in the joy of Buddha children. The society nowadays is in an urgent need of friaries where children can be instructed to scouting activities to practice Dharma that way.
Venerable Sangha, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the news for now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next program on psotv channel. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha.